My criteria is if I'm gonna lose more than 30% and make less than 50%, I don't want it, you feel me? So, like right here, I know I won't lose 30%. Well, that's what it did previously the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like over 5 times. Now, how can we make money with 3 indicators and 1 computer screen looking at stocks with support and resistance? Well, I'm going to show you support is what price can't get below, but support is also a price where buyers are at. What does that mean? All right, well, let's check it out. The higher the time frame, the more data you have per candle. Yo, Disciplined Diamond Hands back, man. First thing first, I'm not a financial advisor, but I do have disciplined diamond hands. Today, I'm here to give y'all a juicy video about support and resistance. Support is the floor, resistance is the ceiling. Support is where price can't break below, and is where buyers are at. Resistance is where sellers are at, and price can't get above. First thing first, I don't understand why people aren't investing in 2025 because this is not the 1900s anymore. We have access to knowledge about investing. These are some of the main pros of investing. No cap on salary, can fund your whole lineage lifestyle, and it increases self-reliance. Those are the major things that started me on this journey of investing. And also, my asset classes, I gotta add artwork to it, man. If y'all know a great artwork investing platform or website that has been performing well, let me know. I'm gonna check them out. So for today's topic, and we're going to be going over support and resistance, what are strong zones, EMAs, and resistance, and we're going to use them all together to figure out how to actually make money. If you're watching this, you're going to definitely learn how to make money because I'm going to show you how I did it, and I'm going to show you how to buy it and how to use support to be profitable, and actually more profitable than the SPX Index. First thing first, I must say the market has always been recovering despite every crash. So as a long-term investor, you will always win. Why? Because the SPX Index has been increasing since the 1800s. You know, it started at what, $2.73. Now it's worth worth $6,700. So the stock market will always increase throughout, despite the crashes. It will always recover. So first thing first, what is support and resistance, and what are zones? Let's go check it out. CNC is a healthcare stock. Let's erase this. So I just said that support is what price can't get below, but support is also a price where buyers are at. What does that mean? All right, well, let's check it out. I just put this yellow horizontal ray right here, right? Or horizontal line. Then I'm gonna circle some things for you. Let's circle that. Right here, this was a resistance. Why? Because price had to break above that. This is where sellers was at, but price broke above that and it went. How do we know sellers was there? Let's go in on a smaller time frame and let's go back over here and let's really look at it. All right, how do we know sellers was here? Well, look at the red candles once it was getting to this level. It didn't want to get above this level. Really didn't want to get above there or above there. So if we're analyzing CNC, which is a healthcare stock, and we're analyzing them trying to realize where are their support and resistance and how can we make money off of this? Well, I mean, I already made some cheese off of this, but it's kind of not in my criteria anyway or anymore because it done ran up too much. Because my criteria is if I'm gonna lose more than 30% and make less than 50%, I don't want it, you feel me? So like right here, I know I won't lose 30% if I was to enter. If I was to enter up here, it may come back down to this support and I may lose more than 30%. So you get what I'm saying? If I invested right here, I could make way more than 50% and risk 30%. But yeah, this is one of my biggest positions and one of my highest convicted plays. Right here we have UPS. UPS support is way stronger. Why is UPS support way stronger? Well, because let's check this out. We're gonna see why they support is way stronger. Well, it initially started its first resistance back in 2005. You saw what price did here. Price had a hard time. Once it made that high right there, price had a hard time breaking above that level. Price always reacted. Then once it got here, you know what I'm saying, it started holding that level. It touched down again. So this is a high. This is a strong zone because it always reacts to this level. Like I know y'all see how it always reacts to this level, right? And what does this level tell us? Well, what this level tell us, every time it touches here, buyers step in. How do we know buyers step in every time it touches here? Well, that's what it did previously the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like over 5 times. Now it's here again. But also, that's why we got to get into the RSI and the EMA. What is the RSI and the EMA, you may ask? Well, the RSI lets us know if it's below a 30 RSI, that means it's oversold, undervalued. It's potentially going to go up. And if it's above 70 RSI, this red line, that means it's overbought. It will potentially go down. So how can we use that to our advantage? Well, UPS is at the oversold area. And let's see if we go back. Let's choose another stock actually. Not every time it gets below the 30 RSI, this happens. So that's why you got to use other factors and make sure it's a good company, good investment beforehand. But check this out. Every time it get below the 30 RSI, you see you get that big bounce. You see that thing go up, right? Okay. Let's circle more. It didn't get below 30 there. It didn't get below here either. But when it get close to it, you can also see what happens. And then I also marked up a zone on here for guys as well to go over this zone. Campbell. We all know Campbell. Y'all probably ate Campbell when you was sick one day. Campbell soup. Yep, that's them. The best soup company in the world. I got some Campbells in the cabinet right now. All right, so now we're going to check out FI with the EMA and the RSIs put together. Why are we going to use the RSI and the EMAs? Because they're the most simplest, cleanest indicator to use, and they're also the most profitable indicators. If you have more than 5 indicators, you are wrong. But these are the names of them. Type in moving average exponential. You're going to click on that. Then we're going to type in RSI and we're going to click on that. Then we're going to go click on these settings so we can adjust the settings to make sure it's actually the 200 EMA. Screenshot and pause, screenshot and pause, screenshot and pause. Then we're going to add the moving average exponential twice. We're going to add a 50 EMA as well. We're going to click A, make sure it's on the 50. Close 0 EMA 5, screenshot and pause, screenshot and pause, screenshot and pause. Then we got to do the RSI. 14, close, screenshot and pause, do that. And now we're going to make some money with these 3 indicators. How can we make money with 3 indicators in one computer screen looking at stocks with support and resistance? Well, I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so when we're analyzing FI, can you tell me a price level where it had a hard time getting above, where it looked like sellers kept stepping in at? Can you show me? Well, I could show you right here. Right here, sellers kept selling. And so first it created this resistance right here at 125. It came back up to that same area. It came back up again to the same area. It went down, it finally broke out, and now it's finally back down to this area, and it's finally reacting and wicking off of this area, but it's also oversold. How can we tell this is a strong level? Well, this level started back in 2020. Also, check this out. This was a resistance level, right? Not only was it a resistance level, as it was oversold on the RSI. Once it's above 70, we know what happened, it drops. And that's what happened here. And yeah, we got the resistance, and it's coming down here again, and it's oversold on the weekly. Well, what happens every time it's oversold on the weekly? And at the 200 EMA, last time it bounced at oversold. It usually holds the 200 EMA. I understand it's not holding this time. Look, it broke past that 200 EMA, but this is the next level of support here. So what happens here we kind of got to use history, and we got to study the company. If the company is good, then that's great. If the history shows that it respects the RSI, it respects these demand levels, then that's good as well. And both of those check out. But I'm still not in it because I got so much other stuff that I am in, and they cooking up. So now YouTube, I'm going to show you how to use it all together. How can we use support and resistance, the 200 EMA and the RSI, to actually grow our Roth IRA 50% plus a year? How can we do that? Well, buying undervalued assets on the RSI, but it must be below 30 RSI on the weekly or monthly time frame on a good company at a demand area. How can you find all this? Well, I got a stock right here in front of you that I'm in that are at all of these criteria right now. Let's check it out. First thing first, we're going to check out the monthly time frame, because the higher the time frame, the better. Why? The higher the time frame, the more data you have per candle. So if you're a long-term investor, you want to use a higher time frame because you want to hold your assets long. You want to hold your assets for multiple years. So you want to see multiple years of history to hold it. You can't see multiple years of history on an hour time frame. But if you're on the monthly time frame, you can really analyze and see, oh, this is what was going on in 2019, this was going on in 1996, just like that. But if you're on the 1 minute time frame, you're seeing a whole bunch of noise that's more focused on the daily price movement instead of long term, you know? So when we're looking at IT, first thing first, we can see a support zone. We can see a support zone here. This is a price where buyers kept stepping in. But not only that, I'll stretch it down to this 200 EMA, because as we can tell, this 200 EMA was also a level where buyers kept stepping in. How do we know buyers were stepping in here? Well, previously buyers stepped in here. Also, this is another thing we can see. Like I said, when stocks are below that 30 RSI level, they're considered oversold and they usually bounce. IT is at 32, is not oversold yet, but at the same time, we can still start to see the trend of what happens when that RSI gets low. When the RSI starts to get low, we can see price starts to react and do great things. Let's go on the weekly time frame. We can go on the smaller time frame. We can see this support area better. We can see that support area. We can see, more reaction to this level and around this level. We also see a little resistance though. Look, back in 2018, it started this one little horizontal level around this 162 area and 172. Look, every time price got here, it was sellers here. We can't see it, but it's sellers here. When price got up here, they sold. 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 Sold, and it finally broke out. And once it touches this level of support, it breaks out. So, well, not break out, but it bounces. So yeah, and then if we pair it with the RSI, look, let's check this dip out right here. Also at the 200 EMA on the daily time frame, but it's also reaching that 30 level on the RSI. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? This is how you can really use support and resistance in a practical way to make money in the stock market. And I appreciate y'all for watching, and keep watching because I'm gonna keep dropping names.